Hello, Lizzabitty. A few things that I want you to do before we get started today. I just have a few minor requests. Please like this video. Subscribe if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel. We made 500 subscribers last week. We are on our way to 1,000. Please help us get to 1,000 subscribers. Remember, I like to put out quality over quantity. So, what we're going to do today is something a little bit different. I don't think that I've done this type of video before, but I hope that those who are joining us for the first time, I hope that you enjoy it, and my continuous viewers who are subscribers, just enjoy this content. So today's topic is basically 5 things you can do for Alkebulan. What do you think? You think? So I have a list here. Number 1, if you don't want to join this movement, the first thing you can do is stop speaking ill about it. What I have discovered is a lot of people who have never been to Alkebulan, they are speaking ill about her. And then you have ones who have only visited one country one time, and they are speaking ill of her. I don't think that's a good synopsis when that continent has 54 sovereign nations. Sovereign, okay? When you do your total count, there's more than 54. But we're talking about sovereign nations. So please, let us refrain from that, as we want to be an upliftment to everyone. Number 2, you ready? Do not solely mix with expats. I know from my repeated viewers, you all have heard me say this before. Now, why do I say this? I say this for the mere fact that since we are not a monolith, meaning Black people, since that is the title that has been given us, especially those in the diaspora who do not know their genealogy, in order to connect with someone on the continent, you cannot do that with persons who have only lived in the diaspora. How are you going to connect and get your cultural feel? You know, like your coffee mug is full of coffee. How about that mug being full of culture of the local continental Africans? So I say to you, let's be mindful about solely mixing with expatriates. And there's no, what I'm saying to you, there's nothing wrong with that. But I would wholeheartedly think that you would want a different experience than only mixing with Westerners, because that is the environment in which you come from. One would think you would be more inclined to basically become seamless and mesh with the persons that are already there. Persons who can tell you how to maneuver the terrain. And when I say terrain, I don't necessarily mean just the physical sense of the land. I mean everything about the land. So that's what I mean when I'm using the word terrain. I mean everything about the land in itself. So let's think about how we can maneuver better. So let's recap, even though we haven't finished. Number 1, If you are not joining the movement to repatriate, let's stop speaking ill. If you have only come to the continent one time and visited one country, let's stop. We're not telling you to present to other people a utopian society, because we know that that does not exist per se. A utopia can be what you imagine it to be in your own realm. That's up to you and your spiritual guidance. I cannot, and no one else can tell you how to achieve that. Okay? But what I want you to think about is the ramifications of talking negative about the indigenous continental Africans, as if there's no ills in the West. I mean, I could write 16, 17 books on different topics of the ills of the West. I mean, it could actually be more. Pan-Africanism Strikes Back, his channel. If you haven't checked him out, please check him out. Recently, he was on a panel, and something he said to me resonated. He didn't say it per se to me, but he said it on another channel. And what he said was, you don't see the West with all of this negativity in order to stop tourism. He says what they do is to bring you all of the highlights of the good. To what? Bring people in for tourism. So when people are saying, well, all they're telling you is the good, the good, the good, the good. Are you speaking that same way about from whence you come? I don't see you folk on here making videos about the ills of the country in which you reside. So let's just be forthright and be fair. Be fair to Mother Alkebulan. That was number one. Okay, number two was, do not solely mix with Westerners, expatriates. Why? Because let me say this. Think about what is your purpose for leaving from whence you come? What is your purpose? What is your purpose? I guess that's the best way that I can put it. What is your purpose? If your purpose is to leave a society that has, since the inception of your ancestors, has been beating you up. Maybe you visited the continent and you romanticized how it would be to be away from that rat race. If that is the case, then why would you solely want to just be with expatriates, Westerners? So that's number two. As you decide how to do this, just be a bit open-minded. Number three, don't think of the possibilities as being a list of nothing. Think of the possibilities as being endless. Endless. I recently made a video, and at the end of the video, I had a lot of imagines. Imagines meaning the limitless. So imagine a continent with every resource known to mankind. Imagine that. If you can imagine that, then your possibilities are endless. They're endless. So broaden your horizons in what and how you can live, maneuver on Alkebulan. Number four. Do for Alkebulan what you have done from the country from whence you cometh. You may say, Elizabeth, what do you mean by that? What does Elizabeth mean, aka Lizzabitty? Lizzabitty means, in order to foster development infrastructure, creativity, all of the things that you currently have in your homeland where you basically originated from. All of the resources that the blacks in the diaspora poured into those countries via this and this. I'm sure you've heard numerous times that people have said to you, I have poured my blood, sweat, and tears into this. Mother Alkebulan needs that. She needs it. That same energy. Sometimes we get jaded. Jaded in the sense that, well, I want someone to give, and pour into me and not me pour into them. Giving and giving back in strength and numbers can produce a multitude of fruit. Not just only in children, adults as well. This computer, this thing is magical. And some people are so eager and hungry to get and garner the knowledge that you have in your computer into their computer. So how will you foster that? By giving. By giving. Yes. And number 5. This is a simple principle that I think we all can learn from and use it in our abundance on the continent. And that is the 7 principles of Mayat. Use those in your daily life, and I can promise you, you are likely never to go astray. What's going to happen here is I'm going to come back and do a separate video about the principles of Mayat. We're going to have a simple discussion about how we can use those on Alkebulan or in your life right now to begin to open you up and foster this type of moral and spiritual growth that you are possibly needing in order to begin your journey, your trek to end your marathon on the continent. And when I say end your marathon, I don't mean you get to the continent and it stops. No, I mean ending your marathon. Okay? So, again, what I want you to do and what Mother Alkebulan needs you to do to be open-minded in everything that you do. Do not get off your square for anyone, for no one, not even Lizzabitty.